Welcome back, guys. I have not done a Spyderco video in a little while, and this Spyderco, okay, spoiler alert. This one I think is awesome, and it's unique looking a little bit, but I like it a lot more than I think I should. So we'll talk about that. It was loaned in from my very good friend, Random Rob. And I will put a link to his channel down below. If you are remotely into watches, you should go check him out. So, Rob, thanks for sending this this knife in, along with a couple of other ones that I will get to also. Another Spyderco and a Benchmade. So, let's talk about this guy. This is the Spyderco Autonomy 2. The part number there if you want. Just stick that off to the side. So this is an automatic knife, which I think is totally cool. And it's in LC200N blade steel. So it is, I hate to use the word rust proof or corrosion proof, but LC200N is super crazy, highly corrosive resistant. And yeah, most people are going to say that it's rust proof, that it cannot rust. So under normal circumstances, it's not going to rust. Okay. Really nice G10 scales, nice lanyard tube, reversible pocket clip, standard, Spyderco pocket clip, nothing fancy there. But, and we'll zoom in here, the pivot and firing mechanism is odd looking, but in a way that I just kind of like. I can't explain it, guys. I don't know. It's kind of cool. It's very industrial looking and, kind of a work type knife. So you have a big pivot collar here, and you have a very massive and protruding fire button, as well as a very positive sounding and feeling safety. Now, I've been carrying this around since it came in, and I carry it with the safety off, and I have not been able to fire it accidentally in my pocket. So I think you're good without the safety, but, it is there. Nice G10, just overall a nice job. You can see the lock bar in there and whatnot. We'll zoom back out, and now it fires like a ProTech. If I can hold it loosely here, let's see what happens. So it fires. I mean, it just rockets out, and it's pretty solid. There's not much, if any, blade play. I'm going to kind of wipe off my finger gunk there so you can take a good look at the blade itself. So very nice finishing. It's a full flat grind. It's kind of funny to me that they still put a quote unquote Spidey hole in the blade. I don't quite get that. So very little branding. It's just etched in, and you can barely read it there, but you can see the blade steel. And along the spine here, or the back heel part, Golden, Colorado is where this one was made. As you know, or if you don't know, Spyderco has several factories around the world. They make some in the U.S. They make some in Taiwan. They make some in Siki, Japan. So they always put where it was from on the blade. Is it always on the blade? Yeah. So this in Spyderco Delica was made in Siki City, Japan. You can see there. So they always kind of put that on the blade, which I think is cool. So you know where things came from. There's no jimping on it, which is totally okay with me, because your hand locks in. The G10 is textured enough that, yeah, you lock in. Plus, it's a good size. So full hand grip with a little bit sticking out. You can kind of choke up a little bit if you want to kind of move forward on the blade for whatever reason. And you could move back if you need a little bit of extra reach to get to something. Now, the safety does work as a safety to lock it open as well. So I could see potentially using the safety in that type of scenario. Although where the fire button is, I'm not sure that you're going to be bearing down on this enough to release that the button lock enough to close the blade. I mean, I'm really having to try to do that. So I don't know that that's going to be a thing or not. But it does have a safety for both closed and open if you so choose. So let's get into some specs. 4 7/8 closed, 8 3/8 overall, 3.45-inch blade, 3.31 cutting edge. It's 0.025 behind the edge. LC200N, as I said, the blade thickness is just 0.10. So it starts off thin and it gets thinner as the grind goes down. So this is going to be a really good slicer, okay? This is not going to be for hard outdoor use, but this is going to be great in the kitchen, especially with that anti-corrosive blade. This is going to work great in that type of environment. Really nice. Overall thickness is 0.524, and it weighs in at 5.3 ounces. So some might say that that is a little heavy for a 3.5-inch blade, but I don't think so. It feels good in the hand and in the pocket. And you're getting a lot of bonus out of that blade steel. The Spidey hole there is just, it's odd looking. I mean, they could have made it bigger, but they didn't I'm guessing they did not do that because you would try to open it and you just physically cannot. So I get why it's not your typical Spidey hole, but I don't know. In my opinion, they could have left it off. So here it is next to the Spyderco Delica. The AA and D cell battery. The Random Rob glow-in-the-dark coaster. That's actually what this is a coaster. And we'll kill the lights, see if it glows. There you go. And I think there's some glow on the edge also here. Yes. So, so this is a coaster set that I have. I have a 4-piece coaster set with a coaster holder thing. So that was printed up by Jerry over at Spectra 3D. And I'll put links to both Rob's channel and Jerry's Etsy store down below. All right, how about the Sharpie and the pencil? And if we get into something a little bit bigger here, let's go with the Hellraiser P series. About the same size overall. This one is going to fill the hand a little bit better because it's a little taller. This one might be a little more comfortable because it's much more contoured around this carbon fiber, whereas the G10 is just slabs of G10. Okay. And since we're talking G10, how about the Kubi KB237, which is slightly smaller. And this is one of my favorite budget knives. It's like $50. The Spyderco is in the $250-ish range. I did glance around in a couple of places I saw it. It was, I think, list price like $3 something, Blade HQ or DLT. I don't remember which one it was. Had it for like $269, but it was sold out. So if I'll take a look down below. I don't know if I can find one that has it listed currently. If I find one, I will put a link down below as well. So there you go, guys. If you hear a dinging in the background, that is my Nixon Dork watch that I think has just an alarm for every Saturday at this time, the day I'm filming, because every once in a while it makes noise in the background there, and it's a watch that's really just on the shelf over here to the side of my studio, and so I just don't even mess with it. So sometimes it goes off when I film. So if you heard a dinging, that's what that was. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. I do greatly appreciate it. I kind of rambled on, went over a little bit there, but I think you get the point. So thanks a lot. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.